Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Silent Hill Forte, running on PC. As I pass into the world of the dead, I pray that only that I do not pass through the gates of hell. Please hear my prayer. Well, I don't think we're that lucky. What a beautiful place this is. Sparkling lakes, fragrant flowers, the melodic chirps of birds singing. This must be paradise. Well, not this place in particular. To extol the advent of our clan, we bestow upon this sacred land the name of heaven's benediction. Send forth to the sky a crane, to the earth a serpent, to the spring a tortoise. That's right, I didn't change the puzzle levels. So I think these are all the same solutions. Theme from hell, but somehow got their nails did. Resident Evil mod. Actually, it is a Silent Hill mod still. It's Heather from Silent Hill 3. I did see that there was somebody had a model for I want to say it's Leon from Wuchang. So somebody did put a Wuchang character in this game, but I figured it probably didn't make much sense for me to put Wuchang back to back when I'm playing Wuchang. What was it? Tortoise crane. Crane, serpent, tortoise. Ah, right. Ooh, an Emma. All right. Oh, what's this? Did I pass by this before? A perspective on Hiragami. Tales of mortals being wed to gods and spirits can be found throughout every culture across human history. Certainly, from the perspective of humans, to tie oneself to a divine being is an undeniable honor. However, if one were to consider the opposite perspective, the divine being is binding themselves to a vulgar life form, what could possibly motivate them to make such a degrading choice? Countless seasons have passed since I first came to this sacred land of beauty and wonder, and yet even now, if I consider whether I myself am worthy of such an honor, I cannot answer in the affirmative with any confidence, so I must ask myself, what benefit is there to such beings mixing their divine blood with that of lowly mortals? To be clear, I am overjoyed to be of some use to them. However, I cannot help but wonder. Dodging does not consume stamina while in a near-death state. Oh, okay, that's very specific. Okay, so this is new. I don't remember even ever seeing this. No way out of this, huh? Jeez, this thing's tough. Why so tough? Damn it, I just want to get over there. That's right, they respawn. through the door. No island here. Crap, why are there so many of them? What the heck? You have to fight it too, or else it just chases you. To whomever happens to read this note, it becomes so easy if you just stop and give up. After all, you are already among the dead. Well, I'm not just going to give up. Besides, I'm too lost to give up. Crane, snake, tortoise. Mom, Dad, I don't think I'll make it home. I wish I could see you one last time. Mayumi. Really? It was none of these? It was none of these? Oh, there's a crane right there. Tortoise is always the hardest one to find.
よし、錠前を試そう。
Serious? Still following me? So annoying. And I have to drop my light to fight him. It's like, why is my choices see where I'm going or fight? Why can't they be both? No matter what, I won't have enough for the next upgrade.
受け取ってもらえて嬉しい。淡雪の紅玉より削り出して作った君のための鍵だ。
私のために。
その鍵を稲荷像に。Just get to beat your ass for free. And then you just have this killer headache every single time while they're beating your ass. And as a player, you can do nothing about it. Yeah, I can't say it's my favorite section. Really, the whole shrine, the dark shrine section is not. I don't think it's the game's strong point.
But you spend half the game in this environment.
大丈夫。
The only thing good about this environment is that your weapons don't degrade.
疲れたらす
You
ぐ
know,
に
you don't have to worry about breaking them.
では行こうか。
Who is this? Did we ever find out? Oh, it's the doll. Did the doll kick my ass? Why is the doll kicking my ass? So that's a little bit new part of the cutscene. I find out this tiny little doll is smacking me around, even though I'm fighting these giant monsters.
Hinako.
Somehow this little doll is just, you know, owning me left and right.
返事をしろ。よかった。
Female Chucky.
お前は簡単に死ぬようなやつじゃないよな。
まだ生きてる。
I mean, female Chuckies are canon in that universe.
サクコは無事だよな。
Or at least for a couple of the movies, there was a female doll.
一体どうなってんだ。
I like how he just doesn't give a shit about Sakuko.
街から誰もいなくなってる。これが悪い夢なのか。
Bride of Chucky. I think the movie after Bride of Chucky also had. I think there were 2 other movies with female, where he had a female doll.
だとしても。
It's hard to believe there's like 8 movies or or whatever.
この世界に残ったのが2人だとして。
It's either 7 or 8. I mean, there's, you know, probably 6 more movies than need to be of Chucky.
リンコは
俺はあいつに話があるって言われただけで別にその。
リンコは無事なのか。一緒に逃げたんじゃないのか。
悪い。俺も混乱してたみたいだ。あの時はみんなバラバラに逃げた。俺もリンコの姿は見てない。
こんな状況
Well,
で。
you know, she can't even. It's like this guy.
どこへ。
自分の家。
Oh, I heard about the show. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of the show.
行ってみようぜ。相棒。
シュウ。
どうした？早く来ないと置いてくぜ。
It is interesting nobody else seems to see what she sees. They see monsters, but they don't seem to see the same kind of visions that she
とにかくリンコを
sees.
見つけなきゃ。
I don't even know if they even see the same kind of monsters. It's eerie, not seeing anyone around. I think it's a bad thing too if you, when you're playing New Game Plus, you've got to re-explore everything, since there's new stuff everywhere. So you're not necessarily going through the game any faster.
気が壊れそうだ。
Steel pipe. Well, this one is about done. Research Journal Photo 2. A photo attached to a research journal. It appears to be a clue collected by a researcher investigating the folklore of Ebisugoka. What exactly is it? That's a terrible photo. Regarding the legend of the sacred sword, in the Muromachi period, the Great Famine of Hawaii had young individuals desperate for quick money, and so they searched for the legendary sword. One story even claims that the sword was discovered. However, the youth who found it became consumed by the Taira clan's resentment and massacred the others one after the other. Oh, okay. After that, the sword became known as the Sacred Sword, and it is thought to contain the lingering animosity of the defeated Taira soldiers. Was the sword hidden after that? There is not enough information. I must search for the Jizo statues myself. I was able to get in contact with the resident who knows the location of the old Jesus statue. This may be my first clue that will lead me to the sword. I actually totally forgot about hunting for the sword. Hopefully I didn't lock myself out of it. I don't know if I might have already screwed it up. Come to think of it, the local elders were talking about a folklorist from Tokyo who came to Ebisugoka to research the legend of the sacred sword. It is said that Ebisugoka was a hidden village that once served as a refuge for defeated soldiers of the Taira clan. Unfortunately, evidence to support this tale has yet to be found. Still, Ebisugoka shares many cultural similarities with those of other hidden villages, and it is my belief that this tale is true. According to the other legends, the soldiers who fled here vowed to exact revenge upon the Minamoto clan and restore the Taira clan to its former glory. Upon swearing this oath, they buried the sword of their deceased leader at the base of the great tree that serves to protect this land. It'd be a historical breakthrough if we could find that sword. In the Muromachi period, the Great Famine of Oi had young individuals desperate for quick money, and so they searched for the legendary sword. Okay, well, I just read this one. I was able to get in contact with a resident who knows the location of an old Jisu statue. This may be my first clue that will lead me to the sword. Now I gotta find this damn sword. I gotta find this statue. And I don't know if I found the rest of the statues either. I don't know if I missed something already or what. I don't really recognize that photo. Oh, I think this is the way back to Sakiko's house. Right? Well, let's go visit her shrine first. I think I'm allowed to do that. I don't know. Like, where the heck is that? I mean, is it close? I mean, I don't really know. See, local doctors know traditionally the residents of this town have long relied on folk medicine for medical care. Even to this day, a number of the more elderly members of the community still turn to herbal remedies over modern medicine. Too many times do I get these older patients come to me only after exhausting the usefulness of their traditional remedies. I just wish they would come to me sooner before it's too late for them. I was given the chance to discuss my concerns with one of the EYs, a family who have stood as the town's physicians for generations, and to my pleasant surprise, they asked if I would give some talks to educate the elderly on modern medicine. I want to respect local traditions as best I can, though. After all, folk medicine and modern medicine are just two sides of the same coin. I believe they can and should coexist with each other. Unless you're Shu trying to, drug up her friend. Maybe don't use that particular medicine. Great Space Invasion 3, the mothership has dispatched countless miniature UFOs. These tiny round discs attach themselves to innocent folks' heads and brainwash them to take over their body. Have you noticed any strange objects on the back of your loved one's head? No. I haven't noticed them. Doesn't mean that they're not there. Ooh, capacity. Where else can I go? Actually, I think you might spend an even longer time playing the second time through if you're like looking for a bunch of stuff. The first time you're not necessarily scouring every single corner. Oh, can I get to this house again? Maybe. Does it let me go all the way back? I don't know. I think it might lock you out. See, now this is less of a horror game and more of me. Now it's more of a scavenger hunt. The problem with the new game plus doesn't have quite the same impact. Okay, so that is blocked off. I know, too bad I can't warp to different shrines. That'd be way too convenient. It's funny, I spent all that time getting new drivers installed, and they haven't helped the performance at all. This game performs exactly how it did when I had my drivers from January.
Sakuko, ごめん。もう行かなきゃ。
No teleport in horror games, but you know, we're talking about like the spiritual realm too. I'm getting teleported left and right in this game to go talk to Fox Mask. You know what I mean? I think we break the rules here and there. I think I checked everything over here. There's nothing really left, I don't think. Real men drink Otori beer. Oh, well. Unfortunately, the men in this town drink too much of it. Sometimes they're beating their wives. So maybe hold back on the beer a bit. Just a smidge. Just a tad. Okay, this is where I found the note on the sacred sword. I get more health. More stamina is quite a ways away, apparently.
シュウ、いるか？
なんだ相棒。
今のこの状況、いつまでも宇宙船総ごっこをしていたい。私かお前の 夢の中ってことはないよな。
だったら互いの頬をつねり合ってみるか。
いや、自分の方法くらい自分でつねれる。
残念だが夢じゃないみたいだな。
I think this is blocked off. Yeah. There's those red capsules. The game is conspiring against you. This is a good setup to see this body here. Old medical record. Fujitori Kotayuki, age 9. The patient had joined a group of children chasing down a fox that had wandered into the village. Oh, this is new. The fox then attacked the patient, leaving several lacerations on his face. The wound below his left eye is particularly deep and shows a considerable risk of scarring. During treatment, he suddenly fell unconscious and was measured with a fever of over 40 degrees. Emergency transfer of the patient to the prefectural hospital was requested. Upon arrival, however, the doctors there were unable to detect any abnormalities, even after multiple rounds of testing. After confirming his condition was stable, the patient was cleared to return home the following morning. When questioned during a follow-up examination, the patient responded that he felt completely fine. According to the patient's mother, however, Kotayuki is like a whole other boy and has been applying himself to his schoolwork harder than ever before. Oh, okay. Kotayuki's our fiance, our arranged fiance. Local doctors know. I had assumed up until now that being possessed by the fox was a sort of curse. However, it turns out that among the followers of the Inari faith in Ebisugaoka, it can be more nuanced than that. I heard one tale of a housewife who was possessed by the fox after sharing some scraps of food with a real starving fox. As a sign of gratitude, the fox showed her the whereabouts of hidden treasure. Another tale claims that a pious shaman was possessed by the fox and given premonitions of a coming famine. They were able to warn the town and stockpile enough food to endure it. There are numerous stories like this suggesting that being possessed by the fox is not necessarily a turn of bad luck. Though with the influence of today's media from outside the town regarding ghost and horror stories, the fox has become seen as a purely negative phenomena, particularly among the younger generations. Well, something about the rabies that gets you. Makes you a little cautious about the fox. How unreasonable. These young kids. Worried about rabies, which could potentially lead to a fatality. How dare they? Local doctors note there are numerous tales of those who blaspheme against the Inari faith being possessed by the fox. These tales have no qualitative scientific basis, of course. However, I want to try my best to avoid outright refuting tradition and local beliefs. The effectiveness of any medicine provided to a patient who believes themselves sick due to the fox's possession is drastically low. As a mind of science, I surprise myself here when I say that for the best results, patients should be told to offer their sincere prayers to Onori-san or Oinari-san prior to seeking medical treatment. By respecting and complying with local traditions, I can build a far stronger rapport with my patients here. What's this again? This is the box of eyeballs, if I remember right. Drawer key. Right, is it eyeballs? It's eyeballs. Still eyeballs. I thought maybe they would change it up a little bit. Is somebody scary there? Let me go into this room and check it out. Oh, right into the attack, huh? I didn't even get a roll. What was with all the congratulations? Oh, that was actually fast. It's like the animation got sped up. I hope it's obvious what this Jisoo statue looks like if I ever run into it. I think they're like small. rusted glass, an antique portable thermos bottle. The glass container inside is broken, so this is no longer usable. Oh, is that for something? Oh, this is new. Ah, wow. Maybe don't eat at Chipotle, I guess, huh? Must be the moral of that story. Yeah, sorry, they were advertising Chipotle a lot during Evo. Since they were a sponsor, I was like, okay, I've heard enough references to Chipotle to last my lifetime.
Oi, 相棒。リンコの家はそっちじゃないぜ。
Yeah, well, either somebody died or
ごめん
they had like a
ぼんやりしてた
balloon filled with
ここ、サクコの家の神社だよな。
with like raspberry jam.
あんまり思い詰めるな。急いでリンコを探そう。
そうだな行こう
Yeah, they're just playing with it. Seeing how far they could throw it, or seeing how far they could juggle it, and then bam. I don't know, that's my explanation. I think that's canon. That's what they do at the Japanese shrines. They play with balloons filled with raspberry jam. Pretty sure that's right. Okay, why don't we stop it there? This is meowmurai. You've been watching Silent Hill Forte running on PC. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.